Will's ex-girlfriend and his best friend came to visit. They seemed hesitant, then finally admitted something huge. They were now together. Will looked calm on the outside, but inside, he was crushed. After they left, Louisa heard a crash from his room. She rushed in, and saw that he had shattered a photo of himself and his ex. As a man who had lost control of his body, he couldn't even throw a proper tantrum. So how could he possibly give the woman he loved the kind of life she deserved? After his accident, Will had cut off all contact with his girlfriend. He didn't want her to see him like this. Louisa felt a wave of sympathy, so she quietly pieced the broken photo frame back together, hoping to preserve at least one good memory for him. But Will got furious. He scolded her on the spot. Louisa didn't understand. Why was he always pushing people away? With cruel, bitter words? But this time, she didn't back down.
Not because I care about you or particularly enjoy your company, but because I need the money. I really need the money.
And for once, he didn't have a comeback. Maybe he finally saw how tough Louisa's life really was, and maybe he didn't want to make it any harder. From that day on, his attitude started to change. Then came the unexpected. He actually invited Louisa to watch a movie with him. She got completely absorbed in the film, and while she watched, Will watched her. She was lost in the story, and he was quietly enjoying her joy. Afterward, they talked about the film. That small conversation sparked something between them. They were getting closer. Will began to smile again, and slowly, he started going outside more. People around him were stunned. Even his doctor said, "I haven't seen him this happy in ages." Louisa felt proud, but just when things seemed to be going well, Will caught a cold. It should have been nothing serious, but for Will, it was dangerous. That night, Louisa didn't go home. She chose to stay and care for him. She'd always wondered, how did Will end up like this? She wanted to ask, but was afraid it might come off as rude. Luckily, Will didn't mind. He told her it had been a traffic accident. Louisa felt deeply sorry for him. So that night, she shared silly stories from her childhood, sang goofy songs, and even opened up about her own regrets. Outside, snow and wind howled, but inside, Will fell asleep peacefully by her side. From that night on, everything changed. Will couldn't imagine his days without her. At her suggestion, he even shaved off the scruffy beard he'd let grow for years. It felt like he was finally shedding the weight of everything he'd lost in that accident. Louisa was thrilled, but it didn't last. One day, she overheard an argument between Will's parents. That's when she found out Will had been keeping a secret so big, it could turn Louisa's whole world upside down. Want to know what happens next? Follow me. The rest of the story is coming soon.